Welcome to the weekly roundup of Air News Daily Bulletins, the go-to place to catch up with all the stories that made the news last week.
Last week we shared the news that British Airways was reintroducing services to both Colombo in Sri Lanka and Melbourne in Australia. And we promised to share with you the other route developments that the airline has announced. So here we go. The UK flag carrier will be introducing a second year-round daily service between its Heathrow home and Tokyo's Haneda Airport from the start of the winter timetable on the 25th of October. Additionally, on the 25th of October, a new daily service from London Gatwick to Barbados will commence. The Gatwick service complements the existing Heathrow flights and will have tags to Grenada, Guyana and Tobago. That all sounds very lovely and tropical to me. San Jose will be moving from Gatwick to Heathrow at the start of the winter timetable and will be increased from 3 to 5 flights weekly. That's great news for San Jose. In December, services between Heathrow and Cape Town will increase from twice daily to 3 times daily starting on the 13th. Abu Dhabi, which was suspended several weeks ago because of the Middle East crisis, is now slated to return on the 25th of October and will operate daily from the airline's Heathrow home. And finally, its daily service from Gatwick to Tampa in Florida will be moving to Heathrow from October and will reduce to 5 flights per week, flown on the airline's Boeing 787 Dreamliners. They've been busy at British Airways. Great news, definitely. Indian Ocean operator Air Seychelles will start a new service between its Mahe home and Rome's Fiumicino Airport from the 28th of March. Flights will operate twice weekly on Wednesdays and Saturdays on board the airline's Airbus A320neo fleet, and will make a tech stop for fuel in Hurghada, Egypt in both directions, avoiding the airline's normal tech stops in the Middle East for the obvious reasons. After a 6-year absence, LATAM Airlines has confirmed the reintroduction of 4 flights weekly between its Santiago hub in Chile and the Ecuadorian capital Quito, commencing on the 26th of October. Flights will operate on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays using the airline's A320neo fleet. From the 16th of March, Aer Lingus will be adding a 5th weekly flight on its popular Dublin to Indianapolis route, which means customers will now be able to fly every day except Tuesdays and Sundays. All flights operate on the carrier's A321neo aircraft. Air China is increasing its European services from Beijing's Dajing Airport with the introduction of daily flights commencing on the 28th of April to Frankfurt using its Boeing 777-300 aircraft. From the 13th of June, the airline will also add a daily service from Dajing Airport to Milan's Malpensa using their Airbus A330s. From the 20th of June, Air Serbia will offer customers a twice-weekly service between its Belgrade home and Brač in Croatia. I love Croatia. Flights will operate on Wednesdays and Saturdays, complementing their already extensive network of services to Croatia. Flights will operate on the carrier's ATR 72-600 fleet. And finally, Nordic low-cost carrier Norwegian will be introducing a weekly service on a Monday commencing on the 26th of October between Stockholm's Skavsta Airport and Las Palmas in the Canary Islands. Flights will operate throughout the winter timetable and be flown on the carrier's Boeing 737s. Thanks to everyone who took part in our 50th episode competition. As we had loads of correct entries, we decided to make 4 people winners instead of the 2 we originally announced. And those lucky winners are Alistair Shields, Joseph Reimer, Mark Aldridge and Ross Barker. Your prizes will be winging their way to, if you'll pardon the pun, later this week. And thanks to everyone who took part. It's great knowing that I'm not the only person obsessed with things that fly. That's all for today, folks, but we will of course be back with you again tomorrow, bringing you our regular news bulletin. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Many will have seen the tragic news concerning a Jazz Aviation Mitsubishi CRJ-900 aircraft that was operating as Air Canada Express flight AC8646 late on Sunday evening between Montreal and New York's LaGuardia Airport. The aircraft struck an airport authority fire vehicle which was reported to be responding to an incident on the airfield and appears to have been given an incorrect clearance to cross the airport's runway 04 at the same time that the CRJ aircraft was landing. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB to you and I, have initiated their investigation, and out of respect to those involved, we won't comment further at this time, but do want to say that our thoughts are very much with everyone that has been affected by the incident, especially the family and friends of those who tragically lost their lives. Lufthansa CEO Carsten Spohr has said that the airline is just a few weeks away from placing an order for additional wide-bodied aircraft for delivery from 2033. The carrier currently has outstanding orders for 21 Airbus A350-900s, 15 Airbus A350-1000s, 25 Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners, and the long overdue 777-9, of which it is the launch customer and is expecting 27 of the type to join its fleet. Carsten Spohr hasn't provided any details of what the airline might order, but we have a feeling that it's going to end up being shared between both Airbus and Boeing. One to watch for sure. We'll keep you updated. Bengaluru International Airport in India is celebrating being recognised as the best regional airport in India and Southeast Asia for the third consecutive year at the Skytrax World Airport Awards. The award recognises the airport's consistently high standards of customer service across its entire operation. No mean feat for sure, particularly in a busy place like Bengaluru. Well done to everyone working at the airport. It's a cracking result, 3 years on the trot. Well done you. Helsinki-based Finnair, who are in the process of renewing their narrow-body fleet, has confirmed that it has placed an order with the Brazilian aircraft manufacturer Embraer for 18 of its E195-E2 aircraft, with options for a further 16. The airline has also said that it's in the market for up to 12 Airbus A320 family CEOs that it will source from the second-hand aircraft market to update some of their older Airbus airframes that are in the process of being retired from the carrier's fleet. The first of the Embraer E195-E2s is due to be delivered in the second quarter of next year and will be operated by Finnair associate carrier Norra, or Nordic Regional Airlines, on behalf of the Finnish flag carrier. Singapore Airlines will be increasing its presence at London Gatwick with the introduction of a second daily service from its Singapore Changi home, commencing on the 3rd of July. Services will run until the 29th of August, and the additional flight will be operated using the airline's Airbus A350-900 fleet. That's great news for Gatwick. And finally, as Easter approaches, UK low-cost operator EasyJet has launched a charitable campaign in support of UNICEF's emergency work around the world. The airline will be encouraging the almost 10 million customers that it expects to carry over the next month to make a donation, no matter how big or small, to help it make a difference to people around the world. With so many challenges being faced by people globally, this is a great campaign, and we truly wish the guys at EasyJet much success. If you are travelling with them, dig deep. I know it's tough, it's terrible times at the moment for everybody, but dig deep if you can. That's all for today, folks, but we will be back with you again tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Bye for now. Aviation giant United Airlines is definitely adopting the mantra of go big or go home, as the carrier has announced that it expects to take delivery of 250 new aircraft between now and the end of 2028. The largest number of aircraft deliveries to any airline in a 2-year period. That's going some, isn't it? A key development for the carrier is the introduction of what it dubs its coastliner Airbus A321 subfleet and the A321 XLRs, which will be the first narrow bodies in the airline's fleet to be equipped with a wide-body feel through elevated experiences. The carrier's signature Polaris lie-flat seat will be fitted, giving premium customers all-aisle access in the cabin. Its coastliner subfleet will adopt a specially designed livery and fly exclusively between its hubs in Los Angeles and San Francisco to New York's Newark Airport. The A321 XLRs will be fitted with 32 premium seats, 16 more than the Chicago-based carrier had in their fleet of Boeing 757s. And it's clear that United has set itself some challenging goals over the next 2 years, so their staff are certainly going to be busy. Let's hope that the hard work pays off for everyone involved. Relative newcomer Uzbek carrier Qanot Sharq, that was established in the Central Asian country in 2021, has announced the introduction of services from its Tashkent home to New York's John F. Kennedy Airport. Flights will operate twice weekly on Wednesdays and Sundays, commencing on the 3rd of May, using the airline's Airbus A330s. I'll be honest, this has come as a bit of a surprise to many industry observers, as it does feel a little bit like a gamble, especially as its local rival, Uzbekistan Airways, already serves JFK up to 5 times per week. Ironically, the new kid on the block has chosen to use the exact same flight numbers as Uzbekistan Airways, namely from Tashkent, the 101, and from New York, the 102, which may be a clever move from a customer point of view, but might confuse the hell out of everyone else. Regardless, we wish them every success on their first foray across the pond. We've been reporting some of the challenges being faced by carriers as a direct result of Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu's war on Iran. And Philippines low-cost carrier Cebu Pacific has joined a growing number of airlines feeling the fuel pinch as the cost of Jet A1 continues to gallop away with itself. The airline is suspending 4 routes and adjusting capacity plans as a result of the tensions in the Middle East. Routes being suspended are Davao to Bangkok, Iloilo to both Bangkok and Singapore, and Clark to Hanoi. The start of suspensions varies on each route between the 17th of April and the 15th of June, but all routes will remain off of the airline's roster until the start of the winter timetable in October. Frequency reductions include Cebu to Singapore, Manila to Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, as well as Manila to Melbourne and Sydney. It's another grim day, isn't it? One story that may have been missed by all of the events happening in the world at the moment is the fact that Italy's ITA Airways will be joining the Miles and More programme managed by its owners, the Lufthansa Group, on the same day it joins the Star Alliance on the 1st of April. And it's no fool, I promise you. The double whammy will be great news for ITA's customer and those of other alliance members, particularly when it comes to earning and redeeming frequent flyer mileage. And finally, regular viewers will know that we recently reported details of the challenges currently being faced by the US Transportation Security Administration and its inability to pay its staff because of a dispute between Congress and the Trump administration. He's there again, isn't he? Well, as suspected, the security queues at some US airports, notably Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International, have been growing, causing chaos and disruption. Donald Trump's response has been to draft in his infamous immigration and custom enforcement agents. We can only hope that the ICE agents do a better job of managing relations in airports than they have in cities such as Minnesota. What is Donald thinking, eh? That's us for today, but we'll do this all again tomorrow when we look forward to seeing you. In the meantime, stay safe. See you soon. Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv has had its schedule severely curtailed following a security assessment by Israeli Transportation Minister Miri Regev. The move comes amid ongoing attacks between the Israelis, Iranians and Hezbollah in Lebanon. In essence, Ben Gurion is now restricted to 1 inbound and 1 outbound flight per hour, with outbound flights limited to just 50 passengers, although no capacity constraint exists for inbound flights so that those wanting to return to Israel can do so. Local carriers El Al, Arkia and Israel have very limited operations from the facility and appear to be concentrating on key destinations, which for El Al includes London and New York. Arkia Airlines have moved most of their operations to either Aqaba in Jordan or Tabar in Egypt, as they try to keep some semblance of their schedule running. The situation, folks, is very fluid, so customers are advised to check with their airlines for the latest information. Singapore Airlines will be dispatching one of its Airbus A380s to Melbourne for the first time in 3 years when the summer timetable starts on Sunday. The airline has made a short notice change to its scheduling, replacing the usual Boeing 777-300ER on its daily SQ237 flight from Singapore and its SQ228 service from Melbourne. These flights will now be operated on the A380 daily until the 24th of October. It's believed that the change is the direct result of the conflict in the Middle East, as the carrier has pulled the type from its services to Dubai. The Libyan government recently held a meeting in Tripoli with US-based Boeing Consulting as it continues to work towards launching a new national airline for the North African state with the intention of improving safety and operational performance. Libyan United Airlines, the name chosen for the carrier, is expected to be formed by the merger of Libyan Arab Airlines and Africa Airways, both state-owned enterprises. There was a suggestion that Libyan United would be formally launched in the first quarter of this year, but with only a few days left, this seems highly unlikely. The meeting was described by the country's official news agency to have focused on progress of the new carrier's business plan, including a feasibility study and the timeline for the establishment of the carrier ready to start operations. Only time will tell if they're able to achieve their aspirations. Let's hope they do. Having suspended flights on its Sylhet to Manchester route earlier this year, Biman Bangladesh Airlines, at the behest of the Ministry of Civil Aviation and Tourism, stated in a press release issued recently that it would be resuming flights on the route once the Hajj pilgrimage was complete. Current schedules appear to have flights resuming twice weekly on Sundays and Tuesdays from the 5th of July until the 20th of October, using the airline's Boeing 787 Dreamliners. Although when approached in Dakar, the carrier advised us that flights are not currently available to book, so customers are advised to keep an eye on the carrier's website. And finally, Shanghai-based China Eastern Airlines has placed an order with Airbus for 101, it's a very odd number, A320neo family aircraft. The order, valued at $15.8 billion based on 2024 book prices, is comprised of A320s, A321s and A321 XLRs. The airline is expecting deliveries to come in blocks between 2028 and 2032, and some of the order will allow the airline to retire at least 53 older A320 family aircraft from its fleet over the same period, whilst enabling the carrier to expand its international footprint in line with its current commercial strategy. Thanks for watching. We'll be landing with you again tomorrow for the final episode of the week, so don't forget to check in with us, and in the meantime, have a great day. Budapest-based Wizz Air has begun the task of phasing out its IAE-powered V2500-engined Airbus A321s. The first of 41 aircraft left the carrier on Tuesday, and its departure has started a programme that will last until March 2029 as the carrier continues its transition to an all-Airbus A321neo operation. Birmingham Airport in the United Kingdom has gone all arty just after central search and security. Customers travelling through the airport will now be able to see some of the great and good of the West Midlands who have made names for themselves around the world, to include the late and great Ozzy Osbourne in art form. Others who feature in the new artwork include Jasper Carrott, UB40, Ellie Simmons and the Peaky Blinders. I absolutely love this. I think it's a great way of bringing some local flavour to the airport, so it's a big thumbs up to the team at Birmingham. Well done, you guys. Troubled Uganda Airlines has been thrown a lifeline by its owners, the Ugandan government, who have now approved borrowing up to the tune of $113 million to enable the national carrier to acquire up to 10 new aircraft, with the ambition of expanding long-haul routes and, crucially, to stabilise the precarious nature of its current operation with only 2 long-haul aircraft, which, as we've reported previously, have been grounded awaiting spares. No further details are available at this time, but we will continue to monitor news from Kampala to see how the airline chooses to spend those funds. Let's hope they spend wisely. Luxembourg-based specialist Cargolux has strengthened its 30-year relationship with JAL, Japan Airlines, by signing a new codeshare agreement with the Tokyo-based carrier, covering operations between Tokyo Narita Airport and Luxembourg. The agreement will see JAL offer capacity on both airlines and on interline flights between Tokyo and Chicago O'Hare. The codeshare comes in response to strong demand.
With the weekend just around the corner, it's time for a little self-indulgence. Visit our Air News boutique and feast your eyes on our stylish merch designed to tickle your taste buds. We've got 2 stores packed full of stuff to suit every budget. Grab yourself one of our cool-looking t-shirts, or maybe a hoodie. You could also be a mug and snag one of these little beauts. Or just get carried away in the excitement. You can even give your mobile phone a makeover. Visit airnewsdaily.tv, click on the boutique button and indulge yourself. Go on, You know you want to.
On Tuesday, the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. passed a bill aimed at opening the skies over the United States to civilian supersonic flight. The bill requires the Federal Aviation Administration to revise its current rules to allow civilian aircraft to fly faster than Mach 1 over land without special authorization, on the proviso that no sonic boom reaches the ground. I'm not sure how you achieve that, but you obviously can. We suspect the decision is directly linked to the work currently underway by Boom Supersonic to produce its next generation supersonic aircraft dubbed Overture. If only Concorde had been allowed to whip across the States at max speeds, then the short-lived partnership between Air France, British Airways and Braniff may have been a success. But regardless of that, it's good news for the guys at Boom and will no doubt be another incentive for them as they progress to the certification program of their Overture aircraft. We're all going to be watching that with great interest. Last week I mentioned how competitive the business of in-flight amenity kits can be, and to finish off today I thought I would bring you the newest kits to be launched by the largest airline in the world, American Airlines, who, as we know, are celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. These rather stylish looking kits are being issued to eligible customers of the airline for the next 12 months, and for those lucky enough to be sitting in one of the carrier's premium cabins on a night flight, you may also be able to don a pair of these very stunning PJs sporting the 100-year motif. Hopefully one size fits all. I might not try. Thanks for being with us this week. Always a pleasure. We'll do this all again on Monday, when we'll be bringing you our usual roundup of new routes announced by airlines around the world. Until then, have a superb weekend. I'm off to bodge some DIY at home. See you soon.
We look forward to seeing you again next week. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to Air News Daily to stay up to date with all the latest news from the commercial aviation world.